Okay, so what we're going to do is let's go to um, the gameplay effect that heals your health regen. So today we're going to do a health regen delay. All right, so this heals every quarter of a second. It adds whatever you tell it to based on set by caller. All right, and then we want to do source tags or target tags. The source and the target are the same, so let's do target tags. Click that. Must not have tags damaged dot 2sec. You already got it. This is all it clicked for you. I like hearing that. No, so we need every time you take damage, it's 2 seconds. We have to make a new tag. So you want the health regen delay to be 2 seconds for now, right? So what we want to do is data dot damage, or you could just put damaged dot 2sec for now. Okay, we can do that. Damage dot delay dot 2sec. Yeah, however you want to do it. So let's click that. All right, data dot damage dot delay dot 2sec. Great. Now we go back to check attribute changed. Your character, where you weight attribute change, excuse me. So above, whenever the new value is less than the old value, that means we took damage, right? So let's make a new gameplay effect. Yep. GE underscore damage 2sec. This is not the official best way to do it, but this is the way I'm going to do it now because it shows kind of the way to do it, or one way to solve. There's many ways to solve this problem. So double click that. There we go. Duration policy has duration. Period. 2 seconds. And then components, right there, plus a component. And grants tags. Grant tags to target actor. Add tags. Add to inherited. And we're going to do data, damage, delay, 2 seconds. So whenever this effect is applied, it will last for 2 seconds, and it applies damage, data, damage, delay, 2 seconds. So go to Nexus character, and then I would do a check if new value is less than old value, apply the damage delay. I do it at the top, by the way, like right after weight attribute changed. I do it up there. That's the way I do it. You could do it however you'd like. But yeah, is the new value less than old value? You can keep those there. Yeah, they'll eventually go in there. And if that's true, we want to apply effect to owner, right? You'll see, just hit apply. If the new value is less than the old value, that means you did take damage. And if you did take damage, you want to put the 2-second delay on there. Off of true, yep, off of true, you're going to apply gameplay effect to self. Not the spec, because you don't have a spec for this. Spec is a modifier. In a sense, spec is like something that you can edit. This is just going to be a default. Apply gameplay effect to self. Actually, you could do it to self or to target. Yeah, this is good. So then select the gameplay effect class, delay 2 sec, damage 2 sec, yep. And then just on over. And if it's false, just go handle health change, right? Because if it's false, that means your health went up. Or if your health stays the same, which that means it wouldn't have changed the attribute, it won't even fire this, right? So hit compile, save. And then we already did the other, yeah, just run it. That should do it. You got to give it 2 seconds. You got to give it 2 seconds. Is it going back up? All right, let's take a look as to why. So apply gameplay effect to self does put if new value is less than the old value. True, applies that. Okay, and now let's see status health regen. Yeah, that's odd. Can you print? If it's false, it won't heal you. If you don't have a throughput for false, because if the new value is higher than the old value, that means you're being healed. So you wouldn't say that you're literally healing, like you're healing yourself every 0.25 seconds. That means the new value will be higher than the old value. Or because you haven't needed to check for that until this point. Oh, okay. Oh, well then in that case we can just, if you want to move the logic up there down to here, there's a million ways to solve this. I'd rather have you do it whatever way you're comfortable with. I know I said, just do it this right now, but like, um, yeah, I get rid of all of that and the timer and delay and stuff like that. We're just going to do it the way where we're applying gameplay effects. Health regen, the way most people do it, it's just always on. And then if you have taken damage recently, it applies a gameplay effect that says, hey, you've taken damage recently. And if that gameplay effect is on, then the healing regen, when it tries to do itself, it stops. It doesn't do it. So yeah, so yeah, I think you can get rid of all of that, right? I don't know what part of it updates your UI, but you don't need to remove. I mean, you could remove the healing regen tag for 2 seconds and then reapply it. And then the other way that I explained was just to apply a tag that says, hey, I've been damaged recently. That way you never have to worry about removing the health regen. Like the health regen is just permanent. It's just at times it's blocked because you've taken damage. That's how most people would do it. Yeah. So let's do that. So you want to get rid of these. So health handle changed. Yeah. Yeah. And you do apply. That's correct. It's already there. It's built in. Go back to your heal. No, no, go back to your healing thing. Go back to your heal effect. That's what we did. See, so where it's source tags or target tags, one of those. Oh, well, so yeah, so your healing that's like gonna your heal that is permanent, your health regen, it's checking. So you must not have tag data.damage.delay.2 seconds. And the gameplay effect, GE damage 2 sec in the top right, whenever you take damage, it applies itself for 2 seconds. So if I take damage, it's for 2 seconds. And let's say a half a second passes and there's 1.5 seconds left on that, and I take damage again, the way we have it naturally set up, it overrides and it just sets it where at 2 seconds. Yes, you can. But for now, let's just leave it at 2 seconds to get it to work. Sounds good. Yeah, so you already hit the nail on the head when I'm like, this isn't the best way to do it, but for now we're gonna do it like just a hard coded 2 seconds. So let's get this working first, and then we can uh yeah. So let's hit play again and let's see. I think your UI just may not be updating, but you are probably healing unless you need something to activate the heal. Does your health is your health regen? Well, your permanent health regen. Yeah, you need to on begin play apply gameplay effect of the health regen to yourself. And that was yeah. So drag begin play to the left and let's apply gameplay effect spec because you wanted to do that as a spec, right? A spec means you're going to be like adding stuff and like editing it. I try not to use specs unless I have to. I think your health regen, we can just use the default, right? So let's do apply gameplay effect to self. No need to have spec in there. But when you have different classes with different regen capabilities, that's like when you would use spec. Or, correct, or you make a different gameplay effect for each of the classes. You have health regen parent, health regen archer, health regen dwarf, health regen wizard. That's up to you, however you want to do it. For the health regens ads per source, it'd be apply gameplay effect. You want to apply gameplay effect. There you go. And that's just going to be the GE status health regen. Well, you can do it the other way. You can do it where on remove tag. So like let's say you take damage for 2 sec, right? And you have a 2 sec timer. On remove tag, set timer for 2 seconds, and then add healing. So now the question is, are you healing? I don't know what you just did. So can you have it print your health like on tick? Because I think the UI is not updating correctly. Or just yeah, hit the apostrophe. Yeah, I was gonna. You don't have the button next to enter? You'd probably have to type it while it's playing. We're not looking for tilde, we're looking for apostrophe. If you hit play and then at enter button, one to the, yeah, it's one to the left of the enter key. Yeah, hit play and then hit the, there you go. So now what we want to do is hit, no, the number 3, although it'd be numpad 3, and I don't think you have numpad 3. You might have to use like Alt or Control 3 to do it, because we want to see what effects are on you, and that comes up under abilities, which is number 3 on this. You have no way to use num keys. All right. So in that case, go to event tick on your Nexus character. So do event graph, click event graph, and right click on there, event tick, not async physics tick. There you go. And you want to get ability system component and drag off of that. You want to get float attribute, not the base, the current. So that one, and then click health. And then print string off of, yeah, just right click, print string. And then that green circle to the pink circle. And then drag event tick, exec, perfect. Compile, play. So it's 100. Okay, and back up. Because there's 2 characters. So it's doing it on both of your characters. But yours, so here's the thing, is the heal's not coming in. So the UI is actually correct. So let's figure out why. Let's go to the dill damage 2-second thing. GE damage 2-sec in the top right. No stacking, grant tags to target actor. Do max duration. Oh, duration magnitude up there. I'm sorry. Period 0, duration magnitude 2. I had those backwards. I apologize. Period should be 0. Now it'll work. See, even I fuck up. Are you serious right now? Why is the fuck? So go to heal over time. I don't know why the false. I would just get rid of the false on down there because you don't need that. Go to your heal over time infinite. Infinite, add final. It doesn't do it if damage delay. Yeah, yes, that never reset. And I don't know why you have stacking. I know you said something about having different sources of it, but can we just put it to no stack for right now? I appreciate it. And data tag data.heal. All right, and where is, so for this, we have to do set by caller. So go back, we have to do gameplay effect spec because you have set by caller there. It's not a flat amount that's being healed. That's the issue. So go to, huh? So we have to do apply gameplay effects spec because you have set by caller. So we have to give it a tag for data.heal. So it doesn't know how much to heal. So we can't use apply gameplay effect to self. We have to do make outgoing gameplay effect because you set it up for, that's it. We did this before. So then off of that, you have to have the tag that you put in there. This is going to be for heal over time infinite. Yeah, I think, right? No, you have to do set by caller, assign set by caller magnitude, because you set it up this way. Assign tag set by caller magnitude, because you're using a tag. Yeah, you can delete those, but instead of set by magnitude or set by caller magnitude, it has to be assign tag set by caller magnitude. Because if you go back to the infinite healing, it's data heal. Yes. And then you have to get the make outgoing spec into spec handle and set the magnitude to whatever you want. Nope. There you go. Magnitude is, we'll do health regen time. Yeah, that's, if health regen time's like 2 per tick, that sounds fine. And then return value from assign tag set by caller magnitude is going to be apply spec to self. And I'll go over, yep, self. Self is fine. And you got to connect the execs. Yeah. Yeah. You always want your execs to be in a straight line over to the right. Obviously, when you have sequence node stuff, then it differs, but just go ahead and run it. This should work. I didn't realize you had a set by caller on the health regen. See how the health is regenning right now? All right, and then back off. Works. There you go. So now in your attribute, let's go to your health attribute, the actual attribute. Yeah, because notice you're healing over 100. So we need to actually, is max health set to 100? All right, so it's fine. So here's what we're going to do. Go to Nexus character. If on attribute changed, if new value greater than max health, then set value to max health, right? Because we don't want to be able to heal over 100 even though you are right now. Well, what if max health changed to like 120? What if you want to be able to overheal 120 at some point? You got to change, you change the float. The reason you have the attributes is you can give names to the floats and not have to hard code them, and they replicate. So like I can see your health bar if I'm an enemy. Yeah. So attributes naturally replicate and they're useful with gameplay effects and all this other stuff. Most of gas is the reason you use it. There are some single player niceties, but it's primarily because it auto replicates really, really efficiently and well. Yeah. So um well, you haven't done anything multiplayer yet. Just because there's 2 pawns in your thing, that doesn't mean you have a client. Yes, yes, exactly. Once you get the law, once you understand this, like once you learn the syntax, oh, make outgoing spec, oh, apply to, like that shit's annoying to learn. But once you learn it, this stuff flows super easily. So it's just a knowledge check at the beginning. So anyway, wait for attribute changed, your health. Yeah, so that's one piece of logic that we care about is if it's going up, or if it goes down, we have taken damage. So we want to apply that. Now, the other check that we want to do is if the new value is higher than our max health, we want to set our health to max health. So, and the reason we don't use values and instead we use attributes, the dwarf max health might be 250. The ranger might be 150. So we don't want to put values here. We want to use health and max health. That's why we have it. No, that's only going to pull that's going to pull basic attribute health. So I would say if new value is greater than, and then get float attribute, you're gonna have to pull it off of the ability system component. Yep. Get float attribute. and the attribute should be max health. You can just click the, yep, perfect. It'd be, it would be the new value. If the new value is greater than max health, right? Because that means you're healing more than what the max health allows. You're gonna set health to max health. So let me, yeah, yeah. And by the way, that health regen time needs to be an attribute, and can health regen should be an attribute that's 0 and 1. Sure, I'm just saying if you want to use things like that, that's perfectly fine. Those, it's just you need to put those as attributes. And you can do booleans as 0 and 1, right? You can do integers as floats, that's perfectly fine. Hell, if you wanted to do spelling, you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way through 26 be letters, and you can have 6 attributes for a 6-letter code if you really want to get spicy, right? But anyway, for instance, that health regen time, if you tried to do that in multiplayer, it's it's only going, like, if you were the dwarf and I'm joining you as the ranger, it would give me the health regen time of the dwarf instead of what I have as the ranger. That's why you need it to be attributes. And when we get into multiplayer, I can tell you why that is. You can use it for now, but if it is a numerical value, it should pretty much always be an attribute at this point. So you would have to go into the C++ and just add, the same way you have health, you'd add health regen delay, and you'd add a health regen rate. I have 1,500 attributes, by the way. Now I'm crazy, but like, game, you can actually, I think, make a new attribute um, in here, but I don't know how to do it. And I don't know if you could do it, like, you may have to have C++ expose the functionality to Blueprint and wrap it in a node. So if you want to make, for now, let's worry about that later. Let's focus on single player for right now. So assign tag set by color magnitude, whatever the health. If you want to do it a flat value, or yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah. So let's think of it in this terms. You're healing 2 per second. Max health is 100. You're currently at 99. Your current health. By the way, so you have health and max health. This is why I hate YouTube tutorials. I have default health, current health, max health, min health, max clamp health, and min clamp health. And then I have all 6 of those for health regen rate, and I have all 6 of those for health regen delay. So while other people have 2 values for health, I have 18. But you don't run into like stupid shit like this. You don't got to hard code anything. So for now, we're just going to use health and max health, but I at least recommend changing health to current health in the near future. So your current health is 99. Max health is 100, and we're about to regen 2 health. Walk through how that's going to go with the logic over here on the right. Like, let's step through that logic. So we have new value is 101 because I'm 99 to 1. Well, old value is 99. New value is 101. Our max health is 100. Right. So how are we gonna check to get what? The current health attribute? So uh you should be able to drag off the attribute. So current health, is that going to be that attribute to the left under weight? Drag higher. The thing that the blue thing, this attribute. Drag off and see, can you set it? Yeah, you may need a gameplay effect that is override, and it just overrides to, and it's based on an attribute, and it overrides to max health. I have something where in BP in one of my plugins I can just set a value, but drag off attribute, and I want to see something. Click attribute down arrow at the top. Evaluate, get, and gameplay effect. Click that down. Get modified, attribute magnitude. Okay, task, weight attribute changed. Click down on gameplay attributes, which is below it. Get, and then gameplay effects. Click down. Get the magnitude. No, I just meant like that's what that is. Yeah. So in this instance, we're gonna have to use a gameplay effect to override, because God forbid you just set a fucking value. Unreal does have to make certain things very fucking ridiculous. You can. You have to do that in C++. That's why I said let's go to your attribute tables. There's a way for health to be coded, clamped at either a flat, like a listed value, or you can do it as another attribute, which in that case, that's what you would do. You would set the max of current health to max health. But that's, yeah, do it. Then we just chill here with this and get to that part and then implement the clamp, and then, we pick it, I pick it up from there with you. Absolutely. Yes. Well, so here's the thing. The attribute set that you have, we're going to call that default. You're going to make you're going to make data tables of this attribute set, and the data tables will have different values for these attributes. And you'll have a data table for the archer, data table for dwarf, data table for warrior, and they will use the same attribute sets. Like it'll still have health, max health, or armor, whatever, but you'll have different values for them. And I can even show you real quick how to do it. So if you go to your content drawer and right click, go to click on content on the left, and then right click in there and do make new folder, data tables. Double click. Huh? Well, this is true game design. These numbers are actual game design. Think of all the numbers that we've been talking about just for your grenade, just for health regen delay. This is absolute money. Like building actual abilities is fucking easy. All right, so right click, miscellaneous, 7 from the bottom, 6 from the bottom-ish, data table. Good. Click that. Click pick row structure, attribute metadata. Hit OK. DT underscore default. Or I'm sorry, DT underscore at set, ATT for attribute set, and then default. I apologize. ATT for attribute. There's 2 T's in attribute. Yeah. SET for set. Is that C or E? Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And then that's fine. Double click. Okay, we're going to add a row. And it is going to be, can you go back to your Nexus character for me real quick? Basic attribute set dot health. Okay, so go back to the data table. Row name, so F2 is going to be basic attribute set dot health. Excellent. And now we're going to make another row, basic attribute set dot max health. All right. And then what was the other two attributes? Can we go back to your Nexus character? Okay, let's put those in there, please. That's fine. I have 1,500 attributes. You think I've done stuff with all 1,500 currently? The answer is no. I've been at this project for a few weeks, not a few months or years. All right. So we're going to click on health. The base value is going to be 100. And for now, and I don't like doing this, we're going to set the min value to 0 and the max value to 100. And then the max health, we're going to click on. That's going to be base value 100, min value 100, because that's the lowest it'll ever be for default, and then max value 100. All right, that's all we need. Go ahead and hit save. And let's go to Nexus character. We're going to click on ability system component on the left. On the details on the right, you're going to see, where the fuck? Attribute test, start default starting data. Lower, lower, lower. It's almost, yep, up, up, right there. Hit plus. Click the attributes down arrow thing. We're going to do whatever the basic attribute set, that sounds correct. And default starting table, click that. What do you know? Okay, now to make sure it works, let's go back to the data table real quick. And for base value on health, just put 500 for base value and 1,000 for max value, because it has to be in between it, otherwise it freaks out. Let's go ahead and hit save. And let's hit play. And let's see how much health they have. They got 500. We did it. So what you're going to do, go ahead and hit stop, is let's go to your content browser. You're going to right click on this. You're going to hit duplicate, edit, duplicate. Oh, never mind. I guess you need to go to edit. And instead of default, sure. All right. So instead of default, we're going to call that you know what? We'll go with Destiny. So call that Titan, and then make another one, another duplicate, and we'll call that Warlock. And another one that we'll call Hunter. So what you would do for, let's double click Titan. The Titans are supposed to be beefier, right? So for their current health, let's make that 5,000, just for saying, you know what I mean? And then max value 5,000. And max health, let's go over to 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. I have a plugin that allows me to use attributes for these values, so I can like change stuff on the fly. But for now, this is what we'll do. You can't do overshields with this currency. Well, technically you can. You just have to really hard code it in. We'll go over that later. Okay, so the Titans are 5,000. So now let's go to Nexus character, and instead of default, let's say this was the Titan subclass. You just assign Titan. Done. So whenever you make a subclass of Nexus character, let's say you made a Titan, a Warlock, and a whatever, you just assign them whatever their relative data table is. That's it. And now they have their own sets of attributes. So that's how you can have 90 different characters, and they all have their own attributes. You just go in and you change the values for each one. So you write the logic once in Nexus character. All of your subclasses are subclasses of that, but they all have the same logic. And then you just make an attribute set, or I'm sorry, you make a data table for each. And now so you have health and stamina. But let's say one of your characters has rage as a mechanic. You have another attribute set, a separate one, for rage. And I'll show you how to handle that. So go back to Nexus character. You can add attributes to this. You can also make new attribute sets. So for instance, you don't want rage running on every character in the game. You only want it on the one class that's warrior that has rage. Default starting data, hit the plus sign for me. Bottom right. The plus sign above it. Yep. Oh, there you go. That's it. And instead of basic attribute set, you'll have another attribute set called rage attribute set, and you'll give it to that child. Obviously, you wouldn't do it here in the parent. You'd go into the actual warrior. So like melee buffs. I know Hunter and Warlock can do like melee buffs, but Titans are primarily. So if you wanted to do an entire attribute set dedicated to buffing melee damage and a bunch of functionality around buffing melee damage, you go to your Titan and you add the buff melee damage attribute set to them. Yep. So, and it's okay if some functionality overlaps on stuff. The one that I tell people all the time is if I have a building and it has an attribute set, it's going to have move speed, right? And people are like, but it's a building, it doesn't move. And I'm like, great, set the move speed to 0 and move the fuck on, right? So, and what if, it's a turret and eventually the turret has wheels? Guess what? Now it does need move speed. Ho ho ho! Engineers are dumb. I've had engineers complain about stuff like that. So, anyway, that is at least you're going to step on all of them multiple times, honestly. Um After 2 seconds, because if you actually go hit the magnifying glass, or I guess we can go there, look at the duration. Has duration, scalable float, 2 seconds. So it grants tags to target actor, and the tag is data damage delay for yep, yep. There's a yeah. And guess what? One of the first things that I taught you was duration. If you go back to your grenade, I think you'll see has duration, uh, infinite, and instant. Yeah. So, yes, that sounds correct. Yeah. So, do you see why do you see why I use that specific rhetoric, those specific terms? Um, so yeah, uh, there's a lot, there's so much data. Like if you go back to that GE damage 2 seconds, there's so much data in just that little bit that matters, right? And it's very easy to overlook something. So, um, yep, yep. Period is if you want something to happen every like zero point 0.5 seconds or so. For instance, if you go to modifiers, go ahead and hit plus on the modifier below. Yep. And we're going to attribute health and add base or final, doesn't matter, whatever it is. Yeah. And then modifier magnitude, go ahead and hit the down arrow. And let's put 5 in there. All right. And then do for period 0.5 seconds. So now every 0.5 seconds, it's going to apply the modifier magnitude calculation. It's going to add 5 value to the attribute health. So you're going to add 5 4 times. Actually, it's going to be 5 because execute periodic effect on application. So it will happen instantly. It'll happen at 0.5. It'll happen at 1. It'll happen at 1.5. It'll happen at 2. That would be 4. That is correct. So yeah, period will, yeah, so has duration is like if I stun you, you're stunned. There's no change to stun, you're stunned or you're not. It's what I call a bool state. It's on or it's off. But if I damage you over time, like a pulsing grenade that damages every half a second, then yes, it lasts 5 seconds, but every 0.2 seconds it fires off 10 damage. So it'd be has duration and has period versus just you're stunned. There's no get stunned more. That would just be has duration with period of 0 because there is no periods. It just lasts 2 seconds. So things that are what I call bool states, you would not have the pulsing aspect of it. You would not have period. And I want you to know, this is dense stuff. Like you are miles ahead of pretty much any other designer in the industry right now. I'm not kidding. So, if I may make a recommendation, uh, do you really feel like you need to heal every tick? Because let's say there are 60 enemies on screen and you do something 60 times a second. This is health regen, but you also need shield regen. You also need mana regen. So what's 60 times 60 times 60 times 60? I think that's 120,000-ish, right? I'm sorry. 12, it's 13 million. Let me make sure I didn't do one too many. Hang on. So you have 60 things on tick times health regen times mana regen. I'm sorry, times shield regen, not mana. So that's health and that's shield, and we have 60 things. We have like 60 characters we're doing this for. So that's 216,000 calls to the server a second. So that's a lot. So that's why you don't ever really want to use on tick for a lot of stuff. It's okay if you do, but you'll notice like old school Dota and even modern Dota, like auras, they fire every 0.5 seconds. Now I think that's shitty and old. Are you there? Yeah. So I use 0.2. I think that that's reasonable in the modern era. I think 0.5 is too slow. Even current Dota, like in 2026, Valve's Dota, not like old Warcraft 3 Dota, which is still maintained, by the way. They use 0.5 seconds for auras. I think that's a little slow. Um, and you can get rid of the extra one. Well, you just got rid of all default starting data. You should have you should put default on your parent. That's what I like to do. So basic attribute set, just use default. You'll never use default for an actual character the same way your parent character will never be used in a game. It's always going to be the child. It'll be like an archer or a hunter or a titan or warlock, right? So yeah, you can set that back to 100 and 100, and then yeah, you're good to go. It should not do that. Now back up. I wonder if the other guy is about to go over 100. Let's see. No. See if your guy goes over 100. Excuse me. It may need to start one underneath or some shit like that. It may be weird. No, it just doesn't. So here's the thing: the min and max don't work. They never used to work. But you know what they did with my shit? My guy and my plugin fucking hooked them up and they work. The min and max have never worked. So that's why I have current health, max health, min health, because the fucking min and max never worked. And now I guess my stuff actually made them work. That's funny as shit. So anyway, this is why you need to get max health. So if the new value is greater than your max health, then set your health to max health. And what we're going to do for that is we're going to make a new gameplay effect. No, if new health is greater than the max health of the character, the max health attribute. All right, so let's go back to the data table real quick. And let's forget about min and max value at the end. We just use base value. That's it. Your current health is 100. Your max health is 100. Okay, I take 5 damage. My current health is 95. I regen 2 a second. 97, 99, 101. The 99 to 101 is what we care about. So current health heals and goes higher than max health. We don't want it to go higher than max health. What do we want current health to max out at? Correct. Correct. So what we want to do is set set current health to max health. So the way we do that is with a gameplay effect. Like I said, my plugin allows me just to directly set the values. But I do know this is the way to GE health to max health override. All right, and we are going to go instant. We are going to do modifiers. Attribute is going to be health. We are going to click override. And modifier magnitude is going to be attribute based. Click the attribute based magnitude. Coefficient 101, the backing attribute is what we're going to want on the left side. That's fine. The 1 plus 0, 0 is good. And it's going to be the source, and it's going to be max health. And don't worry about snapshot. That's good to go. Hit save or compile save. So this will take max health and it will override it to whatever, I'm sorry, it'll take current health and will override it to whatever max health is. Coefficient is multiplier if you wanted to multiply max health by something. And then additive value and both pre and post is if you wanted to do what I call flat value modify, which is add and subtract. But we don't want any of that. So if new value is greater than max health, yep, get float. Oh, I thought you were, my bad. Get float attribute. We're, yep, apply. It'll come to you over time. Health to max health over max. Perfect. Correct. So you have picked up on something correct. If in this case where we have the healing always on, every 0.25 seconds or whatever we choose for the periodic, it will attempt to heal. It will be end up over max health, and it'll run apply the override. So every 0.25 seconds, it's gonna 102 100, 102 100, 102 100. It's not actually gonna get to 102, but I'm just telling you, it'll try to get to 102 and go back to 100. So every 0.25, yes. So whoa. No, because it happens all in the same frame of calculation. So it's not 100 and then one frame 102 and then back one frame later to 100 in a single process from frame 29 to frame 30, it goes to 102 back to 100. So uh, players will never have access to the health when it's at 102. Now, there is an inefficiency in that you have this popping every 0.25 seconds. I wouldn't care at this point, but later we can go over ways to optimize that. So in this instance, are you sure we want to use false there? Because, all right, let's run it. So eventually you may have like a lot of checks like this. So I would do a sequence node. Number one, you check if it's damaged. Number two, you check for healing. Number three, that's me. You can leave this because it's not wrong. But if you're going to end up doing like 5 or 6 or 7 checks, it might be easier to use a sequence node in the future. And you may not. This might be all we check for. So we can leave it as is for now. But sequence nodes are your friend. Sometimes they don't do things in order. Sometimes they'll execute like 0 and 1 on the same frame. And that's fucking annoying. But other than that, they are very useful. So keep those in mind, is all I'd say. No, it'll. No. Computers are so fast that instead of doing things one, then two, then three. Sometimes they do one and two and three all at the same time. And when your stuff, yeah, well, sequence sometimes fails to force it that way. That's all I was saying. So if you ever are using a sequence and it's not doing things in sequence, take the sequence node out and just do a really long exec string, right? Um, but in general, you should try and use sequence nodes a lot. They are very useful. But I want to congratulate you on something that you don't see as a big deal, but is actually a big deal. You are applying and removing tags to apply gameplay effects. Like you have heal, anti-heal, regen, and you're timing everything. You have no fucking idea. I've maybe worked with two people that could do this. I wish I was kidding. Why do you think I'm helping you? Yeah, but I'm telling you, dude, I saw what you were trying to do, and I was like, this kid gets it. That's why I stepped in. Same. And you have a good eye for what's fun. So it's unfortunate that we have to do all of this fucking nonsense to get the game up and running. But I will say this. I will send you a video to watch if you don't mind watching it. It's 4 minutes long. What did the blue bar do? All right. No, this is an older project of mine. You can hit pause real quick, so I'll give a briefing as to why it is what it is. Well, I want you to kind of watch the whole thing. Well, okay. So so in that case, while it's playing, I'm gonna explain what's going on. So this was day 19. Um, for this game, after I set up the initial systems, I could build one ability every 2 hours approximately. So like the fireball or the fart bomb or the sickle slash or the bubble attack. They took about 2 hours each, right? That includes how much damage they do, the animation, the VFX, the SFX, the projectile itself, yada 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 yada. And I had at least 16 times 6 times, or I'm sorry, 16 plus 6 plus a couple generic ones. So like I had like 24 abilities in here at this point in time, right? So um, you will get there. It took maybe 10 days, 12 days, and then every now and then you have to add some systems to help a new ability that you want to put in, right? Um, but this is day 19. Uh, you'll get there much quicker than you think. That's all I wanted to say. Is it does suck to have to do the back end systems and stuff, but this was 19 days in, and like we had a full boss fight going with like actual like it not bug free, but basically bug free. And she's having a fucking blast. So anyway, you can turn it off. What's up? I mean, yeah, we talk about that. She I call her out. I'm like, you died like a minute in, and she goes, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. So I didn't have the death ability implemented in yet, where your corpse collapses, you go game over screen comes up, and then I send you back to the main menu. Anyway, congratulations. Where does it set? Yeah, graph top right. Oh, gotcha. Oh, like when it heals for every 0.25 seconds and the value changes, it skips. You want it to interpolate. I understand. Go to graph. So when the attribute changes, um, where do you set the actual progress bar? So where it says update health percent, double click that. Okay. So in this, we need to know how it will always be um, by ticks, right? There's no such thing as, well, whatever time passes, I want it to go that amount. That doesn't exist. Time is always a amount. Time passes in amounts of time. Whether it's a tenth of a second, no. I want it to do it, more free, more free. Okay, 1/100th of a second. No. It needs to be like smooth, like whatever. Okay, 1,000th, 1/10,000th of a second. There's always time in between the ticks. So it's whatever's going to look smooth to the human eye, right? So, so here's what I recommend. You can set a timer for 1/60th of a second looping, uh, and basically what's going to happen, instead of set percent here with health divided by max health, that's going to be your target. And you know if we're updating health every 0.25 seconds due to regen, we can set a timeline, so every 0.2 seconds, from 0 to 0. From when it updates to 0.2 seconds, every frame it goes up whatever that portion of the amount should be, right? So we can use a timeline, we could use looping. um I'm going to let you figure out how you want to do that, because it's smooth because they do it in such small increments that it looks smooth. There's no such thing as smooth. Uh, so that would be 30 times a second that you're updating. And remember, if you have 60 characters, and you're updating health regen on all of them, uh, okay, the enemies don't have it, then you're good to go. That sounds perfect. And you know what you need to do to make sure that that happens? Uh, you need to make sure that the health regen, see, that's why health regen should be an attribute. And this is, yeah, see, you're already seeing it. So you could put that in player, but then your enemies, if you ever wanted to do regen, couldn't regen. My recommendation, Okay. However you want to do it. That sounds good. That sounds perfectly good. There's a bit. Can I? Can I? Here. Drag off of begin play and is or get player controller. I'm sorry. Right click on the grid and get player controller. I apologize. Is valid. Do the Boolean instead. There's a Boolean form of that. Branch, drag and hit B. Yeah, begin play into there. I got you, fam. So, creative solutions like that are going to be your best friend. And people that can't do things like that, it ends up being very slow. Listen, you will get to where you need to get to. Trust me. You'll be fine. I believe it. Honestly, we've accomplished a lot today. I think, take care of the cat, try and absorb the information that's here, and I'm gonna go stream and do my own thing. Yep. So absorb kind of what's here. There's a fuck ton of stuff here, but you know that's all it is. Welcome. Have you ever played Overwatch? Have you ever played Dota? All right, I'm gonna launch Overwatch real quick. Fair. All right. I'm sharing my screen. Let me know when you're able to watch. So it's not quite the same same type of tags that we've been using, but I highlight dynamite here from Ash. Notice the keywords. Yep, self-damage, travel time. Bob, it's collide. It's a deployable. His attack is hit scan. He immobilizes after he deploys and movement. All right, I guess he has movement. That's true. Take aim is hit scan and it can critical. Hit scan and critical. Um, you get the point, right? Like these are all tags that describe. Are these all in Stadium now? Yo, no way. I love Stadium. It's the only way to play these days. Actually, I guess there's not too many new heroes. Um, so Zenyatta. H, no, yeah, continue. It's not what I want. F1 dot. There we go. All right. Cleansable, strong projectile, ignore barrier, melee. He has shields, critical travel time, area of effect, and vulnerable. You get. So, um, these are descriptor tags. And then the other ones are event tags and like status tags almost. Um, but I just wanted to show you like this is how the pros do these things. And I could show you a couple other games that are the same way. I wouldn't say a lot, but I'm just want to show you that like if you want to build scalable systems, this is the way to do it. Not like you doubted me or anything, but I just kind of wanted you to know like you were already building games the way like I hate on ActiBliz all day. I don't like them. But Overwatch is a well-made game. Whether or not it's fun, think what you want. The game works and it has a lot of stuff. Omega Strikers was made by a bunch of old Riot devs. So here, they had oh yeah, they have tags: melee, impact, projectile, haste, buff, projectile, debuff, special, secondary, primary. You get the point. Uh, Melee impact, creation, dash melee buff, projectile creation. And it matters. So like strikes do this, pummelers do that, siphoning wand do, light hits and dark, a jack button, strike shot. Where's the things that like make things bigger? So like creations gain duration and size. This game was actually super fucking great. But in it, all of those tags in the beginning matter. Like there's different things here that affect certain things with tags. So you're already at the same level as ActiBliz developers and Riot developers. You're there. Like you are better than their people. They may have a couple of really good people that implement this stuff, but I am telling you, you are already better than most of them. So I just want to congratulate you on that. Also, I will pat myself on the back for being a good teacher. Woo! Yep. Yep. And you're not having to go through trying to go through thousands of nodes looking for the right one. I'd rather, if you can't find the right node after 2-3 minutes, text me. Yeah. Yep. And it shouldn't be. Unreal should do a better job about that. Their AI assistant as much as I hate AI, is actually pretty good. I strongly recommend uh, checking it out. Yep. So I might somebody I know is making a plugin that will expose attribute sets to uh, Blueprint or be expose the ability to create attribute sets to Blueprint, and they're giving it to a friend of mine. I will ask if they don't mind giving it for free to me, and I could pass it on to you and potentially other people. Uh, I was gonna say you just copy paste. Yeah, yeah, but you have to do the. Well, yeah, you are. You have to do the public U function down here. You have to do both. Yeah, you're not doing anything besides that. Yeah, click the .cpp instead of the header file. Yeah, and then you'd have to do the basic, the health equals 100 there above it. How all those equal? Yeah, you have to put a default value in there first. Not first, but you have to have that there. So you have to do that. The thing below it. That is correct. With the right, you can just put whatever you want, but if you don't put something there, it will probably crash. Yeah, I believe it. I'm telling you, this is boilerplate. This is not bad at all. Um, and you got to see under the hood. Like that's not a bad thing. But I can just literally type the name of the attribute I want, hit a button, and it's made. I don't have to copy paste 4 different things and then change a word in them. That's stupid. But but what you can do is copy it 18 times and just change one word using Control Shift F, replace all for like to replace one word, as long as your template for the 18 is built, and that's much faster than putting them in one at a time. So that's when you. So gas is supposed to be the most performant system on Earth, and it basically is. I don't know anything for multiplayer replication that could possibly be more performant. Literally, like it is the ultimate. So when I hear quote engineers talk, oh, I redid it to make it more performant, I'm like, yeah, right, dude. I've heard people say that. I'm like, you're a fucking moron. But back on point, C++ is faster than Blueprints, but the gained efficiency is negligible 99% of the time. That being said, if they refuse to expose this to Blueprints, there is probably a reason why. So, all of this needs to be as that's what I was getting at. All of this needs to be as fast as possible, and like Fortnite runs on a fucking potato because of it. Um, they do have some very smart people working at Epic. Again, I don't trash Epic anywhere near as much. Tim Sweeney pisses me off, but Epic in general is pretty good. Uh, yeah. So, what is an effect actor? That's not a thing. Is it like so base? Is it like an AOE that's meant to do something? And okay, so Okay, gotcha. Go go to you can get rid of the tabs that you don't want to get rid of, and then I'll talk. Go to Edit Plugins. Type in Gameplay Abilities. They are perfect. All right. So let's go to your. You can exit plugins. Let's go to your content drawer. And we're going to make a new thing under Gameplay Ability System. Go ahead and click the, yep, right click and type new, or I'm sorry, right click new folder, Abilities. Excellent. Right click, and then Blueprint Class, and it's going to be Gameplay Ability. Yep. GA underscore parent. That's, and just GA underscore parent. That's fine. And enter. All right. We're not going to use the parent. What the fuck? Oh, I see why it's like that. Yeah, just hit X on that. And we're going to go back to GA parent and we're going to make a child. So GA underscore uh, create volume. All right, go ahead and right click on, well, really that would be GA underscore create volume would also be a parent. Sorry. Um, let's not worry about hierarchy right now. I'm overcooking. Delete that. Delete that GA create volume. Just right click under GA parent, create child, and let's do uh, what was the fucking grenade type that you liked? The warlock grenade. Type vortex grenade. All right, let's open that up. Event activate ability. Go ahead and drag off. And just type print string. And vortex grenade. Just type that real quick. All right. And go back to your Nexus character. Are you playing as Nexus character or are you playing as player character subclass when you're in the game? Okay. Go double click Nexus player base. Off of begin or drag the ability system component in there. Sorry. And yeah, we're going to do give ability. So then give ability and click the ability class vortex grenade. All right. And then we're going to do right click keyboard event. Just right click anywhere. And G. Hit G or 1. That's fine. Yeah. All right. Do that. Try activate. Oh, ability by class. And we're going to do GA vortex. Compile save. Run that bitch. Press 1. It's not printing. All right, maybe we have to do it on server, but it's Yeah, there. Yeah, you want to change that to Nexus player base. Good catch. Last time that cost you hours. No, I'm serious though. There you go, Vortex Grenade. I'm serious. That's fucking progress, dude. Good shit. That's fucking good stuff, dude. Well played. All right, so Vortex Grenade. So anyway, whatever you want to have happen, you put in the Vortex Grenade gameplay ability. That's it. There are other ways to do this, but for now, this is how you're going to do stuff. I would do GA underscore Vortex Grenade underscore throw, and then I'd have another ability, GA underscore Vortex Grenade underscore impact. Now, there's another way we can do it, but it's bad if you get 2 grenade charges and throw 2 grenades out. So what we can do in this ability, we throw the grenade and we keep track of it. We wait for the grenade to hit something, then the grenade adds a gameplay tag to us or sends a gameplay tag event to us saying, hey, I hit the ground. And when we receive that gameplay event, we then tell it to explode and we have our explosion stuff in here. But if you have a second grenade, now the first one lands, the gameplay event is set, and both of them do their impact. So in general, you want to kind of set it and forget it. Like you want to launch it, or I shouldn't say set it, you want to fire it and forget it. That tends to be the best way to do stuff. You don't want to have to keep track of things. So I like Vortex Grenade, um, Throw, and Vortex Grenade Impact. Now, just because you have 2 charges of a grenade, I know there's armor that can do that in Destiny, you can disable the second grenade throw while the first grenade is active. That is the other solution. Then we can just have gameplay GA underscore Vortex Grenade, right? We could just keep it in there because you can't throw a second one until the first one explodes. You could do that as a solution, or you can just do, you know, throw and then impact. What do you mean they don't? No, so just because I did the keyboard event, that's just me getting something quick in there. Let's go back to the other project. That's so keyboard events are like for dev stuff. You don't actually. So click on Nexus character. Where did we do or text? Yeah, that keyboard thing. That's just like anytime you see those, that's someone being lazy. Yeah. So yeah, yeah. Well, so here's the thing. The input action, when you press it, you want it to start the animation, right? And then you want it to hold the grenade back for however long. And when you release is when it throws, right? Well, I'll let you try and figure this one out. But I am going to tell you, so there's one other thing. I want you to right click on the grid and send gameplay event to actor. All right, you can also in some areas just send gameplay event, but the actor, all right, so we're gonna leave that there. Event tag, we're gonna make a new tag, and it's gonna be ability. I'm gonna give you a hint. So it's ability dot trigger dot vortex grenade, and then you could do, if you want, you could do like start, throw, and whatever you want after that. But yeah, let's go with start. And source is going to be the ini file. Yep, add new tag. Cool. We don't need to. All right, that's fine. So we're going to go BP. Oh no, I'm sorry. We're going to go GA vortex grenade, top right, and class defaults, top middle. Here we go. So we'll worry about those later. What matters right now is the triggers second from the bottom. That's where the money is, up there. For now, though, we're just going to trigger stuff. All right, trigger tag. I have trigger tag. Don't worry about cost and cooldown right now. Hit that. Ability, trigger. See how I name it? Vortex grenade. All right, so, but we didn't put start there. It has to be exactly the same. And I don't know if you want to start this at start. We may have GA vortex grenade start and hold, GA vortex grenade throw, and GA vortex grenade impact. Now we could do all of that in one gameplay ability. You get to decide however you want to handle that. But the way you trigger, and the reason you're going to trigger stuff, let's go ahead and go to back to Nexus Player Base. Where it says payload, we're going to right click, and you're lucky. This shit was so split struck pin. Okay. So the event tag is there. Don't worry about the next payload event tag. You can send that if you want. It, like, I would just send the same one if there's like, but just leave payload event tag blank for now. Instigator, you're going to plug yourself in there because you are the one that's instigating the throw of the grenade, right? It would actually just be you. It's an instigator is an actor. Just drag off type self. Yeah. Now, payload optional object, you can drag your ability system in there, your mesh in there. You could put anything you want in there that is an object. For instance, if you had different types of grenades, you could spawn object from class and then pass that into the optional object here. Then once you're in the gameplay ability, cast to grenade and throw it, whatever that grenade was. But we're not going to do that. You can put anything you want in here. That's all I'm saying. Instigator tags are going to be drag off ability system component. So grab ability system component. Yep. And get tags. And it's get owned gameplay tags. Perfect. No. Yep, that one. And drag that into instigator tags. And payload target data, we're going to, there's no target for a grenade. This isn't like a homing rocket. All right, so target data can be a few different things. So drag it off to the left. It can be, if you click ability, target data. It can be an actor, an array of actors, a hit result, or locations. Basically, all you're ever really going to use is actor or hit result. Hit result is a location. So go ahead and hit result. Right click hit result and split. The main thing you'll use here is location, but you can, oh, I hit an actor, oh, I did whatever. But anyway, if you were like doing hit scan and you actually hit like that's where you'd use this. I just want to show you you can do a hit result and you can just put an actor in just normally. That's the two main things you're going to use. All right, go ahead and delete it. We don't need well, the components not like what do you mean? You could go split the location into XYZ if you wanted. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, so in that case you would want hit result hit component. Absolutely. So, yeah. So what would happen if you hit scan, you don't just want cor- correct. Um, and really what you're thinking of is hit bone name or hit result, hit bone name, hit result bone name. Yeah. Yeah, that's really what you're looking for because the component is the mesh in general. So anyway, delete this. Uh, yeah. So you have payload event magnitude. The reason this matters is do IA whatever. Just do IA attack or IA underscore. No. I want an enhanced input. Yeah, I thought they I thought that they had all of them by default in here. Not all, but like yeah, see? So IA just do jump for now, right? Hit the down delete that, hit the down arrow. Elapsed seconds and triggered seconds. So the magnitude is the size of something. And in this case, we care about the size of the duration of how long you've been holding the grenade button. So when you send this gameplay event to the actor to trick, you got it. Now, how you set this up, I don't know, and you're going to make your own IA and all, and um, you know, do you don't want to send the start trigger, like the start of it, after however long you've been holding your IA grenade. Oh, I didn't know you had a grenade in here. Is this the new project though? Yeah, okay. Yeah, but do you get what I'm trying to show you? The way you want to do a lot of stuff is you want to send triggers and you want to pass through variables. That is performant. So, how you used elapsed seconds, you can go magnitude. You can also, I mean, if you get payload target data, pull off and do hit result again. Yeah, from the bottom, drag off, hit result, right click, split. I mean, you could do hit result time, hit result, what you could cheat, right? You could even split hit result location into three values, put the duration into X, and then pull the X value of this from the target. I'm just saying you don't have to use magnitude. You can get freaky with it. So delete that now because we're not sending any hit target data. However you want to solve this is up to you. I'm going to let you solve it for your grenade. And if you get stuck, you can hit me up. Well, no, you spawn it in the gameplay ability. Go to the gameplay ability, GA Vortex Grenade, right click. Yeah, you just do it all in here. Spawn actor from class. See? And there is another one, spawn actor task or something that you could also use if you'd like. But this spawn actor works just fine for single player. There's a reason spawn actor from task exists, and it's for multiplayer, so don't worry about it. All the logic that you were doing in the other thing can work here. No, to go back to spawn actor for gameplay task. You don't need to worry about it. It's basically the same. Honestly, spawn actor from class works most of the time. Um, but if you want to use that, the task one, feel free. But there may be some other stuff that gets wonky, come to think of it. Don't worry about multiplayer. I will help you with that when that time comes, because that's, if you think it's hard now, you have no fucking idea what's coming. It's so much harder than it needs to be. It's so much worse than like, oh, I just spawn it. Don't, nope. Um, anyway, no, it well, I would say you can't do things the way you're doing, but actually you can. That's why we put gas in here. It's just more like you'll see. I right click on the grid and do make float. Right click on the grid. No, you're sending the event to trigger it. Go to vortex grenade and hit class defaults. So in the bottom right, ability triggers. To trigger this, oh, that reminds me, you'll have to click override function and do it event activate ability from trigger. So whenever you as an actor receive this tag of a gameplay event, it will fire this ability. That's what that does. So by the way, you have to click override in the top left, activate ability from event. And then see how it has event data now, whereas the other one doesn't. So now drag that off, type break. There you go. Down arrow, and now you have all that data that you can pass through. Previously, you couldn't pass any data through, right? Um, and also, this may be GA Vortex Grenade. That's correct. This is the way you should fire most abilities, if not all of them. Doing this pass through into GAs, by the way, you now are better than 99% of people that work on games. I'm not kidding. Like, this is absolute champion shit. Sounds good? You have. I overloaded you with info. Huh? You have done unbelievably well, my friend. I wouldn't keep teaching you if you were a dumbass. Well, if you're a dumbass, that's fine, but if you weren't able to improve on your own, I would not keep helping you. Well, that's uh-oh, why is it not healing? No, this should apply to all. So go do a breakpoint. Uh, no, so no. So here's what it is. On event begin play, click on it. Click on event begin play, normal, and then right click. Add call to parent function. It's the seventh one down or so. Yep. Drag. Yep. Yep. Compile save. Hit because you had yeah, you needed to fire the begin play of what's above you. There it is. Um, it's weird. It does sometimes, and it's yeah. It's if you have neither if you have neither of the event begin plays, yes. If you have this character's event begin play and you do not have a call to the parent, it will not run the parent's begin play. It's very fucking weird. Yeah, if you delete them both, you won't get whatever this give ability is, but it'll actually like here, just delete them both right now to make sure I'm not crazy and hit play. Yeah, thanks Unreal. But if it treats you having your own begin play as an override of the parents. You actually have to nope, you have to right click on it and do the only way to do it is the way I showed you. Yep, that I know of. Man, dude, things that like I am saving you so much time. It's absurd. Hit play now that it's not running a thing in the background. See if it works. Because maybe there is some sort of performance issue that we didn't catch. Well, no, it was running fine earlier, right? Oh, that's it. Yeah. Well, absolutely. Well done today. Yeah, I may or may not be available, but if you just text me, I should get back to you at some point, right? So that's a good goal. All right, man. I'm gonna go play some games with the lady. You, you too. See you later. Absolutely.